not driving Miss Daisy, he's driving Mr. Ross. Now you tell all your friends, not friends, but all your friend that you have a driver.
My acquaintances?
I'm sure you got one friend somewhere.
Not in this boat, I don't.
See, I've got a lure in the net.
Yeah.
Really slow.
I'm gonna have one in the net too.
Oh,
Small jaws.
now we've got a real hot mess. You know, that's our theme here. We've been doing a lot of jig fishing this spring, a lot. And we're gonna tell you about some technique stuff that is making a huge difference. And so we got Country Steve today, but this is a lot different than when we were in the Detroit River. And we're gonna talk about that. Here we go. Steve, a little audible, and guess what? Hair jig again. Scrumptious. Made a little move here to stay out of the wind because Erie in the springtime can be nasty. It's no trophy, but it's going to eat real good. Country Steve is dump truck Steve right now. Oh. Hey, you got to take your victories and your spoils. Your victories and spoils all in the same deal. The only bright side to this, the only bright side to you being a dumpster diver today is that you figure out the rhythm that they want. This is all seriousness. Because Steve, you know this with the blade bait. We've been doing a lot of this out here, and sometimes most guys are pulling it, I'd say almost all the time, too much, right?
Yeah. You're
just
pulling it way
working
too hard.
And that's why we switched to mono, so we're getting more of a shock absorber in there. But tell them exactly the rhythm, even though this is a sheephead, tell them what the rhythm you're doing.
So I'm basically just dropping it, touching the bottom, and slowly lifting it, and then just letting it fall back to the bottom by itself. I'm not dropping the rod, I'm letting it flutter. And the fish are just whacking it. Just a very slow presentation.
I can't stress enough how important the equipment is. And we're using, I like nice stuff. I fish for a living. Steve uses almost the same stuff. And we'll talk about this. We actually got an article on the Bigwater Fishing website that lists exact equipment because it really, really makes a difference. Not just having good stuff, but having the right type of stuff.
There's names on rods for reasons. A drop shot rod is for drop shotting. Cranking rod's for cranking. Even fishing is mono, the rod, the sensitivity of it, I can tell the difference, from a bite to a rock generally. It's just amazing difference.
Well, see, and we'll talk about that. That's why it's so important to have a really good rod. You've got a Loomis GLX on there. You can't do this with an ugly stick, no offense.
Well, you can, but you're not going to feel half the stuff, and you're going to lose a lot of stuff because you're not going to feel it bouncing off the bottom when you got two treble hooks and rocks. They like to stick to each other.
2 minutes, circle back.
Yeah.
Hey, Country Steve's Grand Slam sleeve.
Yeah, complete. Grand Slam. Smallmouth, a goat, aka sheephead. Yeah. I'm telling you though that I've been fishing a lot of braid out here this spring in this mono. Night and day difference catching fish. I'm tired of getting my butt handed to me by Ross because I want to be bullheaded and use braid. Not today.
A little slow, how about you?
My favorite thing is just to look at people and they're like, you get anything? And I just keep looking at them and they repeat it like 3 or 4 times and then you go, I can't hear.
They're staring at this boat, they know who's in it, that's the deal.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know, but I look at them, just stare at them. You guys got anything yet? You got anything?
What's that?
Guy asking. The other boat asking, you got anything yet?
You're probably telling them no, I'm telling them okay.
Yeah. As always.
Keep them guessing, keep them guessing.
Where you catching, Matt? Well, caught a couple on the top, a couple in the middle, a couple on bottom. It's kind of all over the place.
If we don't get them on this pass, let's slide over like 300 yards to the south.
Oh, run the big gauntlet one?
Just on the other side of this.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking.
I mean,
about.
them other guys, now that we've drawn a little bit of a mini crowd.
Bent rod syndrome.
Yeah, those big boats drifting over make a little more of a footprint than the little Ranger here.
Well, half the time those guys don't even turn their motors off, which I don't get. You're fishing shallow water and they want to run their big motors. Oh, I thought you had a fish. I do, fish.
Dude, that was... Hey, we're going to have to get you used to this mono slow reaction.
Dude, it's terrible.
It's a nice...
Terrible.
I hate to say it, but I think the drift bag is our friend.
Oh.
I've never seen you so slow in the reaction there. You're used to feeling the thump thump, huh?
It's a different. I mean, like I told you, it's a completely different fishing mono when you fish braid. I fish braid.
That's what you got to do to get bit.
Right. I mean, I fish mono trolling, but you know. But saltwater, it's all we use is braid. Oh, he whacked that one.
That's the fun thing about fishing a blade, you know, you generally still feel it pretty good.
Yeah. Another one for the sandwich.
Hey Steve, how much do you think breast implants would cost me? Because I mean, some of these girls doing these fishing videos, you know, they're getting like 1 million hits.
I don't know.
I mean, and they're not catching them like Country Steve and Ross. I know this.
I can tell you, I don't know how much it costs, but I'm sure I got a guy and we can get a garage. We can get it done.
Does he normally daily during the day? Does he work on cats and dogs? Is that his,
No.
Is he a vet?
No, he wrenches on boats.
Because I've seen. I think I'd rather have the vet. He's got
The vet not use milk jugs.
You have an outboard mechanic that works on breast implants too.
Well, I don't know if he works on them. I'm just sure we can get it done. There's got to be a how-to book somewhere.
Okay, I want to see if I can beat this mother off. I wouldn't do that to you, Steve. Country Steve.
It's like cookie cutter.
You know, we were just getting ready to make a move here. Do you think maybe these fish got pushed off because that big old monster boat up there?
Yep, I think so.
These boats are pushing them off.
Because they're running the fish over.
I mean, they're definitely deep.
Just a little one. But it's for sandwiches. Again, picked it up, let it flutter down just slowly, keeping the line taut all the way down, just before it got to the bottom. Boink.
You got my mic?
Yeah, I got it.
You know, I don't know if it'll switch into the hair jig, and I put that bigger minnow on, and boom, I get one. I think it was probably sliding off because this big boat there, go, 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 here going across the top here.
Yeah, making all the racket.
But do you think that it could be we're talking about breast implants?
that always helps.
I mean,
put the smile on my face.
When we did Country Reese, I mean, when you introduced me to the girl known as Country Reese, I mean, it was just doubles and triples.
I know. Lots
I'm not
of
proud
stories.
of it. I mean, my mom probably doesn't want to watch these things, you know? Think about it, when they go to the book club, you know, and they share your video around, and then all the old ladies are watching these things and their son's talking about breast implants and Country Reese.
Ah, fish. Now he thumped that one. Oh, he smoked it.
You're going to make me put a damn blade bait on, aren't you?
No.
Country Steve. You know, you love heavy metal. And you like a blade bait too.
Yes, sir. In the net and he popped right off. Isn't that crazy?
Oh. Yeah, I know. Thanks. Thanks, Captain Obvious. On the slack hitter. Fish. Oh. Maybe you should take a bowling. I don't know. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, if it was the first one of the day, that's like third or fourth.
Thanks, country. Thanks, country. It's the third. It is the third. I mean, one of them was because of your net job, and you actually, the one you did net for me, I didn't know if you were like a Russian agent. I mean, oh, I know. You hooked it actually in the outside of the bag. That was like Russian, Steve. I thought he was in collusion. Not accurate, but yeah, we'll just go across. That's the top, just like.
Yeah, that's what I was reading, so that's why I asked.
Yep.
I have to go back here and make a pass right here.
We can do that.
You know, a piece of your chicken, just a little corner piece. Are you grilling that on the grill or a frying pan? Like,
George Foreman.
Like half that. Sounds like a good one.
Oh, I actually felt him bite.
Huh?
I felt him bite on mono, so. Hit the stinger. Hit the stinger. Hit that thing like a ton of bricks. Luckiest walleye in Lake Erie.
Fish?
Fish. Cast that. Man, they do want it away from the boat. Stinger. Got him on the stinger. I'll tell you what, Steve, it has been a change of events. You were smoking them on that blade. Now I'm casting out as it's gone flat. We're on spot lock, just holding here. And they're just barely touching that stinger.
That's a nicer fish, though.
Yeah, it is. And he thumped it. But you know, it's just like we got to get. The more the day has progressed and the more the wind has gone down, we've had to just adapt, make changes, and get away from the boat. We've been busting Steve's chops. I don't know how many times we're gonna have to get his metal back there, but it's what you got to do to catch them. Like Ricky Bobby says, if you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing. Maybe it was Tom Cruise. But Ricky Bobby sounds a lot funnier. You know, as long as we've been doing this, it's funny that we go back to how we started with the monofilament. I mean, me and you have gone back and forth just experimenting here last week or two, jigging, and the braided lines that we so much like and have to have, like in the Detroit River. If you use braid, you pretty much got your butt whooped.
Yeah, today I didn't. I fished Shimano, but yesterday, or not yesterday, it was 2 days ago. You were catching 4 fish to my 1.
I mean,
on braid,
it's
and
probably
you had
5,
mono.
but I'm not going to count.
Huh?
It's probably 5, but I don't want to count.
5, yeah.
But you know, again, it presents that bait differently, and that lack of stretch in there. You want that kind of more of a jello effect. You don't want that instant jump because these fish are still they're. How many fish did we catch in the stinger hook? How many fish did we miss?
How many? Well, you missed.
I was Velcro. I must have lost 6 that I had on, and I mean, we were tattooing these things. I mean, we served between the both of us. We left a lot of fish on the table, even though we caught a lot too.
But you know, we've adapted over the years and just fish braid, and then today, last week, going back to mono, old school.
But the key there, that whole thing, because everything you know, when someone asks you a question, it's the whole package. Like you've got a GLX Loomis.
Yep.
I'm using NRX or GLX, and I've got the IMX-PRO that I was using, too, for even an even slower action because it's a crankbait bass rod.
Right.
And kind of going back and forth, you've got to match all of the gear together. It's just not one part of the equation. If you use like mono on a low end rod, you ain't gonna feel them.
No, and you're gonna get snagged on the bottom a lot because you're not gonna be able to tell the difference between a hit or the bottom.
terrible, but
We won
technology's
again.
great.
Time to go home.
Decent. What beat?
GoPro.
Oh, the dead?
Time. It's kind of like our time today. It's narrowing.
Narrowing.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a scenic tour, like a guide trip. I'll wind you through. There's no cheese and crackers or anything or wine.
Oh, I got crackers.
Oh, you got a cracker?
Yeah, I bought some crackers.
Okay.